Chief guest of today's program, Janab Suresh Kumar Gupta Sahab, who is Principal Chief Conservator of Forest as well as Principal Secretary Culture, Government of Jammu and Kashmir. Shri P. Vivekanandan ji, Chairperson of South Asia Regional Support Group for the International Year of Rangelands and Pastoralists, and I'm personally deeply inspired by the work of Mr. Vivekanandan, not only as a civil servant but as a human being, as a member of community, as a member of this big family of civil services. I have been working actively with him since last 2 years, and I have profoundly seen the kind of leadership he has been given, not only to researchers, scholars, to the civil services, but to the communities as well. And I think he has been bridging a lot of gaps which have been there for last many decades. And sir, thank you very much for traveling all the way from Tamil Nadu to Kashmir, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir precisely. Then I also welcome Dr. Ravindra S. Gawali from National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj. He is heading a prestigious mission there. And Shri Ravindra Yadav holding an equal contribution. And I'm very happy to see after a long time my colleagues, because I have been out of station for last month or so on Amarnath Yatra duty. So having said that, I think this is a new topic for all of us, not for some, but most of us, that rangelands contribute more than 40% of total land area in the world, and they support more than 1 billion people in shape of livelihood, in shape of their economy, in sustainability. So that in itself signifies the importance of rangeland management. The United Nations in its resolution decided to announce 2026 as International Year of Rangelands and Pastoralists, to acknowledge and address the challenges faced by these communities and these lands as well, together. And in that context, the South Asian group led by Shri Vivekanandan ji, and having a huge battery of professionals, policy makers and scholars have been steering the discussion in policy circles about importance of rangeland management. So the South Asian Regional Group has been actively working in many countries and actively supporting the FAO and the United Nations till the culmination, I believe, in 2026, sir. And rangelands, I think all of us, I said none of us is new to the concept of rangeland, because I think most of people sitting in this hall have been directly or indirectly associated with the rangeland, and there is a historical significance. I mean, the river valley civilization might have vanished from earth, might have been transformed into ruins, but the civilizations supported by the rangelands have thrived. They have thrived as different rich cultures, from Mongolia to Kanyakumari, from Bhutan to Africa. Throughout the world, you will find unique civilizations still thriving, which are supported by these rangelands. So they have huge significance from historic point of view, from cultural point of view. Talking about the economic value, I am certain that over the next 2 days we'll be talking about the economic value of these rangelands. They contribute more than 100 billion into global economy every year, in terms of non-timber forest produce, in terms of grassland management, livestock production, and so many other things. And my colleagues from Indian Forest Service will be discussing about their role in biodiversity conservation. They are home to the world's most endangered species also. Apart from supporting the rich flora and fauna, these rangelands have been playing a great role in conservation, which a number of colleagues from forest will be discussing with all of us from tomorrow. Today the rangelands are facing serious impacts of the climate change in terms of alteration in rainfall, increase in temperature, and other weather changes, and I am sure that we will be discussing these things when we come up with a policy paper. And the challenges of overgrazing and land degradation are some of the serious issues which all of us need to address, and we will be discussing again in many of the technical sessions tomorrow and day after during our field visit. And some of the colleagues sitting here who have worked on the Forest Right Act, they will strongly support the idea of community-based conservation. I have been advocating for last many years that conservation is not something which a government department or government agency will do, but it has to come from the community, and the government can play a supportive role. And the organizations like South Asia Regional Support Group for IYRP, they can play a vital role in bridging those gaps between the community, between the institutions. And we have to develop those policy frameworks and institutional frameworks which support the recognition of rights of these communities. Talking about the policy framework, we have worked in last 2 to 3 years about the FRA, and we got a new policy of non-timber forest produce, thankful to the colleagues in the forest department as well. But not all the communities are taking benefit of these rights because of lack of awareness, and you will find where the communities have been actively participating, the benefits have percolated down to the last people who have been intended under the Act. So there is a scope of technological intervention. I think Mr. Arshdeep Singh, Conservator South Circle, he will be discussing about the technological intervention, how we can gather data about the policy making, about noting the changes in environmental, note the changes in environment, local climate, and preparing for a sustainable action. So in the end, I will say that I am very confident that all of us will develop a futuristic roadmap. जो लोग FPO से आए हुए हैं, मैं आपका वेलकम करना चाहूँगा, और इस वर्कशॉप में आज का दिन, कल और परसों का दिन, जो बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस हैं वो हम हाईलाइट करें फॉर रेप्लिकेशन इन अदर स्टेट्स, इन अदर कंट्रीज़. जो गैप्स हैं वो हम हाईलाइट करें फॉर अटेंशन ऑफ पॉलिसी मेकर्स, फॉर एक्सपर्ट्स, फॉर इंस्टीट्यूशंस टू एड्रेस, ताकि 3 दिन के बाद ये वर्कशॉप सिर्फ हमारी डायरीज या प्रेस नोट्स में ना हो. It should drive our future course of action, and we have, I think, first session of around 1 hour. So after that we have a tea break, and then we'll be looking forward to listen to Iqbal Sahab for his tremendous work in the agriculture, and my colleagues, the heads of the departments from Rural Development Department also. And in the evening, I think we'll be looking forward more towards your informal feedback. And after tomorrow's technical session, I think day after on 31st, we have a field visit. The field visit signifies 2 important things: that we are going to an area which was, I think, too difficult to visit a couple of years ago, and second, which will reflect the spirit of the community, that if you have an act, if you have guidelines which have been passed by the statutory authorities or maybe by the legislature, but if these remain in books, you cannot empower in community until and unless some people from within the community, they rise above and address these challenges, and in a very friendly manner bring the government to their doorsteps to give benefits of those policies like Forest Rights Act, like the policy of non-timber forest produce to these families. So I am very happy and very hopeful that this workshop will set the tone again. And I was just recollecting with Mr. Vivekanandan that we are meeting in this hall again after exact 1 year. Last year on 30th July, we had the Honorable Lieutenant Governor addressing the first such workshop. So I'm sure my colleagues in the district will again take a cue to utilize the provision under MGNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Scheme, as well as the Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan, which are greatly funded schemes, but still I think rangelands, pastoralism and sustainability are some of the important points or important aspects which have been still missing in our planning. And I have been requesting in all meetings we have been having with all of you as ACDs and ACPs to focus on sustainability, to focus on rangeland management. I am sure a lot of you will be doing wonderful work in this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shahid Iqbal sir, for your inspiring and insightful welcome address.